and the build on the junior platform has begun. So I call it the junior platform because that's the first name in the signature on the logo here. This is our Exodus XL, so it's going to be a 6x8 platform. The Exodus line of platforms integrates with your squat rack. So at this point, we've already prepped the wood insert of the platform with the stain and the epoxy base coat. And so we're getting ready to add the logo here. It takes a little bit of a process to CNC the logo into the material. So I didn't capture any of that process, just a little bit of the setup and teardown. And the fun part, the epoxy work. So once everything is mounted the way that we want it, we'll be ready to load the file. This is your typical CNC procedure here. Take your tool length sensor, make sure the machine knows where it is in space, and then run the file. And what this machine is going to do is it's going to engrave the logo into the material. And then you'll see later in the video what we do after it's been engraved. So this is a cool part of the process. The machine is using this little button to learn where it is in space, where the top of the material is. At this point, you can run the file. You can see we've already done that. This is what it looks like after it's been engraved. You have my logo there in the corner, and then this is the logo for this particular job. It's just a signature. We gotta clean up all the chips that didn't get sucked up by the dust collection, blow it off, make sure it's ready, and then we'll be ready to start the epoxy process. We have to do the epoxy in a separate area of the shop. It's actually a dust-proof, temperature-controlled room. Epoxy is very particular, and we want to make sure that it has the correct environment to cure the way that we want it. So for this particular job, we're using some Black Diamond Pigments matte white. This is a nice solid color white. Takes some time to mix it up, get it ready, but here we are. We have it on one of our perfectly level tables, and then boom, we're mixed up and we can start injecting the epoxy into the platform. This is part of what makes our platform so unique, and our ability to guarantee that your logo will never peel up for the life of the platform, because we actually put your logo in the platform. We're not printing, we're not applying a decal, we're actually embedding your logo in the platform in a way that's going to guarantee it will never peel up. And the best part about it is these platforms are able to be refinished over time. So here we go. Epoxy's been cured. The next step is to sand it and make it flush. We can get it ready for our top coat. This is very important because sometimes you put too much epoxy in and it spills over onto the edge, and you have to remove the stuff that's spilled over outside of the groove that you CNC'd. And then we want to make sure that the rest of the surface is able to receive our top coat. There's a couple of, this is kind of getting into the nitty-gritty technical aspect of things, but there is a couple of different types of ways you can make a clear coat bond to something. You have a chemical bond and a mechanical bond. A chemical bond is when the actual molecules fuse together between two different coats. The only way to achieve a chemical bond is to do a clear coat within a certain amount of time of your base coat. To do a mechanical bond, what you do is you apply scratches to the surface so that your clear coat has something to bite into. It's mechanically bonded to the surface. Now, the gold standard for bondings and coatings is your chemical bond, because the actual molecules have fused together. However, sometimes that's physically impossible to do, like we do here, so we do a mechanical bond, and we make sure that the surface is sanded and clean and ready for that top coat of clear. You can see here the wipe down process is fairly particular. You have to wipe it down in small sections. You don't want to smear any dust throughout it. You want to make sure that each area gets cleaned properly. That way it's ready to receive the clear coat that we're going to apply on top. Very meticulous process, making sure it's clean. It's a very important part of the process to make sure that the area that you're doing your clear coat on is clean and it's ready to receive the clear coat. And here we go. Our clear coat is so thick, that's another part of the reason that we guarantee it will never peel up, is because the clear is so thick. It's not your typical clear that only builds up mils or milliliters or millimeters or even smaller than milliliters. Mils are just like tiny fractions of measurements that you measure coatings in. This stuff builds up to an 1/8 inch at a time. So we really slather it on and put it on there and make sure that anything that we put down is going to get locked under that clear for you. And like I said, we guarantee your logo will never peel up. It's also particular about mixing this top coat. You want to make sure that it's fully mixed. I can't tell you how many times I jumped the gun on this part of the process, didn't fully mix it, and then applied it and ended up with sticky or squishy spots. It won't fully harden if you don't properly mix the material. So it's very important that it's fully mixed. You can apply it, and then, unlike other coatings, we don't roll this out with a roller. We don't, obviously we don't spray it on. It's actually spread around with a non-absorbent plastic spreader. That way we're not losing any material absorbing into our tool, and we can get the exact amount of material spread around that we want. And it looks, you can see the reflection of it, it looks wonky as you spread it around. But again, like I said, this stuff is very unique. It self-levels on its own, so once it's spread around, it'll level itself out, and then it looks like glass. It's just absolutely, it's just such a beautiful finish. This is our super gloss epoxy top coat. Fine for foot traffic. We do have other options that are better for scratch resistance. They are not as glossy, unfortunately. However, sometimes you can't have your cake and eat it too. Sometimes you need to make a sacrifice or two on the glossiness if scratch resistance is of top priority. This is also very meticulous part of the process. You got to make sure that we have material all the way to the edge, and by doing it the way that you're seeing here, I'm able to put material on the spreader, bring it into where I need it to be, and then lay it out nice and even. This is actually a process that we developed in-house. This wasn't learned somewhere. This was through so much trial and error, and this is, I guess you could say, this is a proprietary methodology of epoxy application. Now, I didn't capture the next part of the process. Oh, this is fun. We have to torch it. The way that you get any bubbles that may have been mixed in or put into the epoxy from spreading around is by heating it up with a torch. So I'm not actually curing this. This actually takes 24 hours. Actually, it takes 48 hours to fully cure. And then it will continue to harden little by little over the next 7 days. So it does take some time here. However, this part of the process just removes the bubbles that may be left over on the surface or in the epoxy. And it's the heat from the torch that causes the bubbles to pop. Now, the next part of the process that's coming up, you're going to see it in a minute here, is a part of the process that we kind of keep in-house. It's not something that we really share too much about. It's the assembly building part of our process to actually build the platform. There it is. A 6x8 platform with black powder coat metal edging, full epoxy inlay logo with phantom gray wood stain. Truly beautiful, truly unique. The extension, the part of the platform that extends out past the 6-foot length, is custom cut to integrate with whatever rack that you have. There is truly no others like an executive fit custom deadlift platform. I am a little biased since I make them. Made in America with high quality materials. Thanks for watching.